something just happened that should be making a lot more noise than it is. And if you are holding XRP right now, or you have been sitting on the sidelines watching this market and wondering when the actual signal arrives, the last 48 hours just gave you several of them at the same time. So let us get into all of it, because there is a lot to unpack, and every single piece connects to the same bigger picture. Let us start with what the head of digital assets at Franklin Templeton just said, because this is the kind of statement that gets clipped, shared, and forgotten before most people actually absorb what it means. When asked about legacy chains and which ones survive the coming consolidation, Roger Baston said something very specific about Ripple. He said Ripple has fantastic plans to take the capital that has grown in XRP over time and redeploy it to build substantial businesses. He said they have a lot of money to deploy to make those ends come about. And then the person he was speaking with said something that deserves to be highlighted on its own. You bring Treasury onto the XRP ledger, and you have over $30 billion a day transacted. You give institutions instant rails, RLUSD and XRP as a bridge asset, and suddenly they can move money anywhere in the world in 3 to 5 seconds without pre-parking capital in Nostro Vostro accounts. And if they are not pre-parking that capital, they can put that capital to work earning yield instead. Take the Nostro Vostro money globally and earn just 3 to 4% on it, and you're talking about $200 billion a year in potential earnings. $200 billion a year. Not a price prediction, not speculation, math. The math of what happens when the world's most broken system, the correspondent banking system, gets replaced by rails that actually work. Now here's the data that makes that statement land even harder. Ripple's acquisition of Treasury for $1 billion in October of 2025 was not a random corporate move. Treasury has over 40 years of enterprise treasury history. It processed $13 trillion in payments last year alone, and every single dollar of that was fiat, zero crypto involvement. Then, on April 1st of this year, Ripple launched 2 brand new products on the Treasury platform. Digital asset accounts, which let treasury teams create regulated Ripple native accounts directly inside the platform, where XRP and RLUSD balances appear in the same account structure as cash and are valued in real time. And Unified Treasury, which connects all of a company's fiat and digital positions into a single dashboard. Several customers were already running it in beta before the global rollout. No other treasury management system on the planet currently offers native on-chain capabilities at this level. And the next feature, already in development, is cross-border intercompany settlement, which would bring on-demand liquidity directly into corporate treasury workflows and generate real, measurable, documented XRP transaction demand on the ledger. Think about the scale of that addressable market. Treasury's clients include Fortune 500 companies. The corporate treasury market these products are targeting is over $120 trillion. $13 trillion in annual payment volume is already flowing through the platform. When even a fraction of those clients start routing settlements through XRP and RLUSD instead of bank wires that take 3 to 5 business days, the demand math changes structurally, not gradually, not eventually. It changes the moment the first enterprise client moves from pilot to production. And Ripple did not just acquire Treasury. Total acquisition spending in 2025 alone reached $2.45 billion. Hidden Road, the prime brokerage that clears over $3 trillion annually for more than 300 institutional clients, is now Ripple Prime. Rail, which processes 10% of all global B2B stablecoin flows, was brought in for $200 million, and Treasury for $1 billion. Ripple then joined Swift's certified partner program through the Treasury integration, meaning companies can now choose between traditional Swift messaging rails or near-instant blockchain settlement using XRP or RLUSD from a single unified dashboard. Ripple has not disrupted Swift. They have sat down at the same table as Swift and offered enterprise clients a choice. Now, let's talk about the CME filing, because this one matters more than most people are treating it. CME Group officially included XRP alongside Bitcoin and Ethereum in its annual Form 10-K filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission. XRP is now grouped with Bitcoin and Ethereum under digital asset derivatives in formal SEC regulatory documentation from the most important institutional derivatives exchange in the world. XRP futures launched on CME in May of 2025 and reached $1 billion in open interest in just over 3 months. That was the fastest pace among all crypto products CME has ever listed, including Bitcoin, including Ethereum, including Solana. XRP futures recorded nearly $26.9 billion in notional trading volume after launch. Average daily volume hit $213 million within 5 months. CME's own commentary frames XRP and Solana futures as tools for institutions to diversify portfolios beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum, not as speculative add-ons, but as core derivatives for portfolio allocation. And XRP ETFs launched in November of 2025 have now attracted over $1 billion in inflows. When CME puts your asset in a 10K filing to the SEC right next to Bitcoin and Ethereum, you're not a speculative crypto token anymore. You're classified as a core piece of regulated financial infrastructure. That's not a price catalyst. That's a structural reclassification. And structural reclassifications take time to be reflected in price, but they are permanent. Now, the Singapore Bloom Sandbox update also needs its own moment of attention, because this is the kind of announcement that gets buried under price chart noise and shouldn't be. Ripple is participating in the Monetary Authority of Singapore's Bloom initiative, which is specifically designed to extend settlement capabilities for tokenized bank liabilities and regulated stablecoins. They're testing RLUSD on the XRP ledger against real trade finance workflows. Their partner is Unlock, which supports $200 billion in supply chain assets, 330,000 companies, 2,500 anchor and financial partners, and is operating in 36 countries. The names on Unlock's banking partner list include Standard Chartered, DBS, HSBC, and Bank of China. Getting into the Bloom program is not a marketing exercise. The MAS specifically targets institutional infrastructure layer use cases, not speculative products. Getting selected means regulators in Singapore consider the RLUSD on XRP ledger stack credible enough for regulated real-world experimentation. That matters more for Ripple's enterprise pipeline than almost any exchange listing or retail narrative ever could. Now, let's talk about the honest picture, because this channel is not here to hype you into a position and then disappear when the price goes the wrong way. The XRP price is down over 53% since October of 2025. It crashed 40% in the first quarter of 2026 alone, from $2.40 down to around $1.30, even as Deutsche Bank integrated Ripple's payment infrastructure. Aviva investors partnered on XRP Ledger tokenized products. MasterCard began settling real credit card transactions through RLUSD. The XRP Ledger hosted $2.3 billion in tokenized assets, growing from $991 million just 2 months earlier, and RLUSD hit a $1.56 billion market cap after starting the year at $1.33 billion. Every single institutional win, every partnership, every integration, and the price still got cut in half. How do you hold through that? The same way you hold through anything. You understand what you are actually holding and why. The headline numbers on Ripple's business right now are not price pump material. They are foundation material. The Treasury integration, taking $13 trillion in annual payment volume and putting it on rails that can use XRP, is a multi-quarter story. The Hidden Road Prime brokerage integration, spanning $3 trillion in annual clearing volume, is a multi-quarter story. Cross-border intercompany settlement, which is the specific Treasury feature that would generate the most direct XRP transaction demand, is still in development. The market is pricing in delay and uncertainty. The fundamentals are building something that the price does not reflect yet. As the guest at Franklin Templeton described it, institutional players are engaged at a level that simply never existed before. They're coming to sessions about tokenization. They're asking specific questions about XRP and stablecoins. The head of digital assets at Franklin Templeton said directly that institutions are now asking, how do I own the best infrastructure of this space? How do I own something that accrues value as this ecosystem grows by an order of magnitude? And his answer was that 90% of the top 100 crypto tokens by market cap right now do not redistribute any value whatsoever. The suits are not going to walk in and buy functional meme coins. There's going to be a massive reshuffling in what gets classified as investable, and the assets that survive that reshuffling are the ones with real infrastructure roles: Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, Chainlink, XLM, and a handful of others.
That's not a random list. That's a list of assets that have already been chosen as infrastructure by the institutions that are building on them right now. When the Clarity Act passes, and the signals still suggest it passes, those institutions don't need to figure out where to allocate. They are already there. The question is only whether retail holders understand what they are holding well enough to stay there with them through the noise. Here's the full picture for XRP in 2026 in plain language. Ripple has spent nearly $3 billion building infrastructure that routes institutional money through the XRP ledger. Treasury is now live with digital asset capabilities on $13 trillion in annual payment volume. Ripple Treasury just joined Swift's Certified Partner Program. RLUSD is live in Japan through SBI VC Trade. Singapore's central bank sandbox is testing RLUSD on XRPL. CME has formally classified XRP alongside Bitcoin and Ethereum in SEC filings from the most important institutional derivatives exchange in the world. The XRP ledger added
$1.3 billion in tokenized value in just 2 months of 2026, surpassing all of its tokenized asset growth from all of 2025 combined. Exchange balances are at 7-year lows. ETF inflows have crossed $1 billion. None of that is reflected in a price that is trading near the bottom of its range. The gap between what is being built and what is being priced is not a reason to panic. It is a reason to pay attention. If this video gave you the full picture that the price chart alone will never show you, hit the like button. That is genuinely how this reaches the XRP holders who need it before the infrastructure story is fully priced in and not after. Subscribe if you want every major Ripple and XRP development broken down the moment it drops, because this story is moving faster than most people are tracking it, and the difference between informed and uninformed holders is measured in real money at this point. Here is your comment question. Given everything in this video, what is the one development you think is most likely to finally close the gap between XRP's price and its fundamentals? The Treasury integration going to production, the Clarity Act passing, RLUSD hitting a $2 billion market cap? Tell me below. And if you know someone holding XRP who is questioning their position right now because of the price action, send them this video today, not tomorrow, because the price they are watching and the infrastructure being built are two completely different stories right now.